Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is a scene for Living World of Darkness, Changeling, and Werewolf Menu. So both Ren and Bentley have had very full days. And Ren got home first. What she did is up to her. That's not what's happening in the scene. But about 30 minutes after she got home, a man in a suit steps through the door and kind of sets down a messenger bag, a leather messenger bag. And she notices that the man in the suit is her own darling mate person, looking exactly like he does in the overlay. And he'll kind of smile at her and put his keys on the hook.
She's.
And
Go ahead.
no, you go.
She's waiting on the couch. She's curled up with her. She has a pile of papers and like textbooks and stuff. She's been studying. And when he comes in, she stuffs the papers into her bag and closes her laptop and gets up. And she's moving kind of carefully, kind of cautiously, like she doesn't want to startle him.
Mm-hmm. His brow will kind of raise at that.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Why? What's up?
And she glances past him to make sure the door is closed. Is it? It's
Yeah, he
closed.
closed the door.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. She's like, okay, this is vault stuff.
Okay. He'll kind of take his coat off and hang it in the closet.
I don't. Do your people have spirits?
You mean like ghosts?
Well, you know how a ghost. I mean, I've never met a ghost, but I guess it's like the essence of a person. What's left over.
Sure, yeah.
A spirit is like that for things that are still alive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I rescued a spirit today, and it might
Okay.
not be good for you.
Wow, what's up?
Well, it's. I don't have any idea how to describe it to you. She lifts her hands and walks towards him with her hands kind of outstretched, like she's offering them.
Mm-hmm.
And
He'll reach out to take them.
she's watching him pretty closely. I'm gonna roll my perception empathy.
Here, let me see. Hold on. It's gonna be based on his willpower, to be honest. And that would be a failure. So as he goes to like reach out to her, he stops and swallows, and a look of pure horror washes over his face. Just kind of like,
She backs the fuck up. She backs right up. Okay, so, well, now we know. His name is Ridley.
okay.
And that's, I named him that. And it might take me a little while to figure out what to do with him. He was in really bad shape.
Come back over here. Come on.
No, Bentley.
I'm not a child. Okay.
I don't think you're a child. Don't make me hurt you.
It's not hurting me. It's
I've seen what it does to you. It's like Emmett,
when
isn't it?
it's when it's in greater concentration. It's not. I mean, kind of. It's
I've seen what it does to you.
yeah, but I'll be perfectly fine.
She's staring at him, and she just shakes her head. Look, I love you. This is a temporary thing. This is the kind of thing that's going to happen sometimes. I'm just going to spend some time in the dorm. But I'm going to go see Katori tomorrow and see if there's anything he can do. Oh, love.
Why do you never think to ask me? Or whether I can help?
That's a very good question, and she looks floored. She just kind of blinks at him.
Do you see now why I said I'm not a child? Like, I know that because of what I am, I can come across as very childlike. I know it's hard to trust me and it's hard to take me seriously. But I'm a 33-year-old grown man. I lived an entire life before I met you. And a lot of that life actually had to deal with things involving stuff like that. And I understand you don't know that, and that's okay. I understand that there are still things that we're learning about each other, and we get kind of comfortable sometimes in our relationship and just kind of take each other for granted a little bit. I get that, and it's a normal thing.
She is listening so hard. Like her hands are like
Finally.
shoved in her pockets and she's standing very still. But she doesn't look defensive. She's just listening with like all of her.
I could help you. There are things that I could do that our people know about that could help you. Astria could probably help you. And I understand you probably want to go to your own kind. And crossing streams can be difficult. I understand that it's not probably even your first go to, seeing, what. I mean, you've given me the impression with how you were raised that you were kind of really raised in your society. Yeah, I get it. But you don't have to run off to protect me every time something bad happens. And I mean, if we're gonna make this work, this, this, us. I mean, how? He kind of just thinks for a moment and just shakes his head softly, and he's like, "You know what? I've had a rough day. Don't worry about it. You know what's best involving your people, what you're doing. It's
I know I can't ask Astria since I can't probably be around her any more than I can be around you right now.
the way
But
you are right now is something that I wouldn't want to put around our children. It would be a bit much for them, although it would actually affect them a little bit less. I certainly wouldn't put you around the older of us. You know what I mean? But for someone who's still young like I am, as much as I'm pushing the autumn of my life, for somebody like Astria, it's no worse than being around something that is just unpleasant. It's like being at the DMV all day. It's like it's like it's like doing your taxes or I don't know, balancing your checkbook. It sucks, but it happens, and we learn to live with it. It's just a part of who we are. We don't run from it. It's an inevitable, and neither of us are so weak that we couldn't bear bearing it. Fuck, sorry. Especially for somebody like you. Like I said, I mean, it's it's happening to you. It's affecting us, but I mean, it's your body that's going through it, and it's you that's dealing with it. So I mean, however you feel comfortable
No, if
taking
there's
care of it. I mean,
anything your people know, that would be. I I don't know where to start.
didn't you tell me that your friend Sam had a lot of experience with spirits?
He does.
Could he help you?
She purses her lips and she's thinking about it. I'll talk to Katori first. But that's a good idea. He might have some good ideas.
The way you are right now is fine. It genuinely wouldn't be any worse than being, for instance, in a hard cold with nothing more than a layered shirt and some thin gloves. It is uncomfortable. If I did it for a hot minute, then ironically, it might, you know, not be the wisest choice I've made in my life, but it's not unbearable.
Is there a range on it? If you stand over there and I stand over here?
Not really. I mean, and like I said, I don't really care. It's not really a problem for me. I mean, if I and there are ways that I could there are ways that I could counter it. There are things that I could do to be honest, I'm kind of taking more heat by being dishonest than I am from you, okay?
Oh, honey.
But look, I don't know how this girl's going to win this election. I don't think she can, frankly. She's there's a stack of stuff going against her, and I want to. I'm a good cat's paw. That's what I did before, and that's what I'm good at.
A cat's paw?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
You know what a cat's paw is?
She kind of grins at him and makes like a swiping motion with her hands. She's like, I've heard it used before, but I'm not sure I understand completely. I can look it up.
No, it's fine. A cat's paw is. He'll kind of like. Now that you're making him explain it, he'll kind of tilt his head as though there were lies tied up in that, so he has to kind of now untangle his own little web he just built around himself. A cat's paw is someone who is being used by another person, and they're basically they're a Grima worm tongue. You know what I mean? It's like I make a good Grima worm tongue.
Okay. I
And
understand.
having this girl become mayor could have advantages for all of us that I am willing to exploit is a very strong word, but it needs to be used in this case. But I don't think that she can win. Her approval rating is not great. It's 3 weeks before the election. I'm about to say things that aren't a problem with me, but are a problem with society, okay? She's a woman, young, she's foreign. She doesn't have a strong stance on any issue that is polarizing the platforms right now. Her motivations are extremely self-centered without the backing to manipulate the people essentially to achieve her own means. She has a personality that is not quite in line with being a female mayor. And she's anachronistic. She doesn't understand modern society at all. So her chance of winning without miraculous intervention is about a snowball's chance in hell. But I'll do my damnedest. I mean, I'll try. I don't think it's something she's going to be able to win. And there's a certain level of professional detachment I have to keep from that whole rigmarole, you know what I mean? And to keep myself from getting invested into a cause that I frankly really don't give a damn about. I never told you about the people I belonged to before I came here, did I?
You've mentioned them a little bit.
But I didn't really go into it, did I? He'll get a drink for them both, and he'll sit down on the couch.
You've talked about the other two a little bit. Is he sitting next to her?
He's sitting. She can tell that he's sitting comfortably close to her. Like he's comfortable with the distance he's sitting.
Okay. She's watching him pretty warily. But she does say, as he starts to sit down, she's like, "You look incredible in that suit."
I know.
I never thought I'd say that as somebody in a suit. Suits aren't really my thing, but you look amazing.
He'll think about it. He'll think about it for a moment, and he'll raise the wine glass to his lips and kind of give her a very masculine, sultry smile while sipping his wine.
She flushes and leans over to get busy in her bag for a minute.
What are you rooting around for, love?
Just making sure I have everything. Anyway, what were you saying?
Are you leaving?
Not yet.
Tonight?
Yeah, I think it's probably best if I sleep with the snakes tonight.
Really?
Her head, like, jerks up.
That smile.
Really? really? Don't grin like that. Really.
He's got the wine glass to his lips again, and he very gently, she notices that he traces the tip of his tongue along the edge of the glass, like a very subtle movement.
What were you talking about? Stuff before?
Smile again. It's probably not a bad idea that you have to go to rest at home tonight. I have to go and see Astra. Something has upset her greatly, and I need to see what's up.
Has it upset her? Is she okay?
I don't know. I take you with me, but I don't think you want to go.
No, I don't think that'd be a good idea. When I touched the spirit, I remembered everything from this morning. I don't remember anything from last night, but...
He'll loosen his tie a little bit.
She forgets what she was saying.
Undoes the top button. Go on.
Anyway, my head just felt so clear. So different than being around all you people.
Like you people?
You know what I mean. All of your family.
I see. He'll take a sip. Did you really forget what I was talking about?
The
The smile.
you were talking about where you came from,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I was talking about where I came from. A sip again.
So I'm listening.
Oh, your ears work?
Yeah,
He's not even trying right now. He's not even like doing anything.
I'm listening. I'm listening right now.
In this very moment, you're listening to me.
I'm all ears.
Okay. The house that I used to belong to, the house of the dragon, the silver dragon, they were known for being political manipulators and schemers. My mistress was fairness in their people. Now she's a lady. She had a fall in power. But I was quite often on her lap when she did her business and her dealings. And from time to time, she also confided in me and taught me a bit of the ways of the house. I was a squire of their rank for a long time, and carried out the duties of my court. So I'm not sure many people know that I have. He'll think about it for a moment. He'll kind of look at her, sipping his wine. He'll kind of swirl it. I don't think people know that I have capabilities they're not aware.
She swallows. I don't like to ask you to do things that might get you in trouble.
With whom? I answer to no one except myself.
With your people. Families are important.
To whom? You have to remember, to my people, I imagine we're not quite as organized as you are. And I hold to no court, and I don't recognize authority over me in much more than the law of the land. And you've yet to do that. It would be my actions that would violate it.
She stares at him because this is legitimately hard for her to really understand. Like, she hears the words and she understands the words, but for her to really process it is super hard. And so she is sitting and listening super hard.
I think your people probably have a more militaristic arrangement than mine do. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to roll for him again, looking at my time. I've been rolling his willpower to keep him telling the truth. Okay, he's good. Mine works a little more. We have like a high queen and a court and things like that, and I'm going to bring you one day. But we don't have to answer to anyone as such. For instance, Astra is a lady of our courts. She's Lady Astra Greyhawk of Papalunid, the House of Lunid. I'm just a commoner. But that doesn't mean she holds power over me. And I am my own man. And although I respect the laws of the land, and although I respect those in power, and I respect the courts and the High Queen, that doesn't mean that I'm going to bend whims to their whims, especially because they are very fickle creatures. Extremely fickle. Again, we're creatures of dreams and nightmares. We are the Fae. How are we ever supposed to hold any order? We had a king at one point, a high king. His name was David. He came after the wars. This is like pretty much the highest level vault thing I could tell you, by the way.
You know I'm gonna remember, right?
Yeah, I know. But I trust you. David was our king. And he was a beacon of hope. He was everything that he surpassed Arthur in kind heart, compassion. He pulled us out of the Accordance War. You see, for a long time, the Sidhe left. What Lady Astria is, they were the nobles of our kind, and they just left us. During, like, the medieval times, you know? And, well, forever and a day, really. We were left to our own devices. We formed our own kingdoms, and we had our own leadership, and we had our own ways of doing things. Do you know what I mean?
She is starting to look almost guilty as he talks.
Then it was the 70s, 80s, around that time. Well, it really started. I wasn't alive then. No, I wasn't. It really started when we landed on the moon. You know, when like we landed on the moon. Oh my God, we're on the moon. It really started then. But
The moon?
yeah, the moon. Not we, as in like my people, like the Earth. Like when
Huh.
when man hit moon, it essentially caused such a surge of glamour that the Sidhe came back. And the Sidhe immediately attempted to take their positions back as our lords. And obviously, there were many commoners who disagreed. It started a war called the Accordance War. Commoners against nobles and the noble houses. There was something called the Night of Iron Knives. That was... Cold iron is an athlete of us.
She jerks when he says that and starts to stand up.
What?
Ben, this is... You can't untell me this.
Just sit down. It's okay. There's nobody in this room. And as I said, you are my mate. You're going to be going to the courts. This is things you need to know.
Okay.
Okay? He'll take her hands. He's like, it's okay. You are a dreamer. When you agreed to be my dreamer, you have rights now. And you can know this kind of stuff, okay? He'll kind of squeeze her hands despite the banality.
She's just watching him, like she almost doesn't even hear what he says about being a dreamer because she's waiting to get the fuck out of his space if it's hurting him.
Okay. Hold on. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna actually roll something else to see if he's okay. I'm gonna roll his glamour, actually. He's fine. He doesn't even flinch. He shielded himself with his own glamour that time. He says, cold iron is an athlete to us. The very bones of banality itself. For some of us, it's actually even more painful. If you were to take cold iron to me, my skin would blister and split open. I'm allergic to it. One night, the nobles called the commoners together. They said that we were going to be having a parlay of sort. a gathering to discuss the way that the war was going to turn. You know?
Uh-huh.
The nobles gathered the commoners, shut the doors to the keep, and slaughtered them in cold iron. Cold iron destroys our souls. So they're not dead. They are gone, erased from existence. One person managed to escape. That's how we know what happened in that room. After that, the war turned. He shuts his eyes and just shakes his head. Even I was alive for that part of the war, but I don't remember it. I hadn't come to myself yet. By this point, we were beginning to almost destroy ourselves. It got so bad that something had to happen. Something. In New York City one night, there was a pair, brother and a sister, named David and I believe her mortal name is Morgan. Her fake name is Morwen. There's a brother and a sister, and their keep, their chatelaine. She of House Gwydion. David felt a pull, a call. He followed it through the battling, the fights, the death, through everything. And it led him to Caliburn. Caliburn is like Excalibur. He who holds it, or she, is the true High King or Queen of the people. With Caliburn at his side, he managed to bring accord. He was a just leader, a just king. And he managed to bring peace to the land and to stop the fighting. So that some semblance of normalcy could be returned to us. But that was not that long ago. There are grumps who are veterans of the Accordance War. There's a wilder or two that probably as a childling served as a field messenger, or sometimes even on the front line. The Children's Crusade was strong. And there are children who, among our society, are leaders, barons and baronesses, princes and princes. And they are children.
That doesn't seem like it'd work very well.
They usually have advisors.
All right.
But when I say that I am beholden to no noble, and that I answer only to myself, for me, it's different than it is for you. It's because to us, there are still nobles who are not proven and who only want the recognition and the prestige and the fame and the power without the responsibility it comes with. And who would do anything to... Well, think about it for a moment. They don't care about us. I'm not one of those that doesn't believe in noble rule. I think that it's a good idea to have leaders. And I think it's a good idea with our people that we should have protections from those that would harm us. But I won't bend knee to someone just because they say I should.
But there are rules.
Hitler had rules. Mao Zedong had rules.
I mean, I know that there are rules that are not just rules, but there are rules that keep us safe.
Yes, and I am positively sure for the average German in Germany, the rules of the Nazi regime were fine. But that doesn't always mean that the rules are right or just, or that even for other people that they're right or just.
Ren's little Philodox heart is like not even sure what to do with itself.
He'll take her hands again. I side with morality and doing what's right by the common man. At the end of the day, no matter how heavy the crown you wear is, or how bare and broken the soles of your feet are, you're going to end up in the ground. Food for the worms like everyone else. You, me, everyone. Even those that were cursed with unlife. One day, it will happen. And I have never, ever, ever met a man who took with him what he had in life to death.
I understand.
His rule only goes so far. But there are truths in this world that are true of any man or any woman or child. Don't harm, don't kill. Be courteous, be gracious, be compassionate. Give what you can spare. It's not hard, and anyone can follow those. And there is no law that needs to be writ. That's what I follow. Be a good person. I'll kind of sit back and sip this wine.
She also sits back and she kind of shivers like someone just walked over her grave.
Give me a second. I was perception empathy.
She's struggling pretty hard. She's trying not to forget that she needs to not hurt him. With her presence, she's struggling to remember the things that he's told her, but she's like trying to think 4 things at once, and the idea that all this lawlessness is like kind of a little bit anathema to her.
He'll speak. He'll just talk to her. He'll say, "Look, pick one of the things rolling around your head and talk to me. Just tell me what you're thinking, even if it's going to upset me."
I don't even know. I'm a keeper of the law. That's what I do among my people, is know the law and enforce it. And it's hard for me to understand your people and know that it's hard for me to understand you as friends and not just allies or enemies. When I know that we may be breaking your laws.
I assure you, you're not, though.
Are you sure?
He'll think over the sheet in his head.
Because I have a pretty bad poker face when it comes down to it. Which isn't necessarily true, but it's it's close to true.
No, not really. Yeah, he runs over the sheet in his head like twice,
Okay.
like kind of mouthing him to himself.
Because you know I would never hurt you on purpose, and I would never hurt Estrella on purpose. That doesn't mean I'd stop her if she flipped her shit and tried to hurt you.
He'll hold his hand up and he'll say, "Let me think." That's actually probably the sharpest he's ever seen him be, because she's talking and it's making him like fuck up the sheet.
She shuts up.
the only, the only tenet of our law that this even comes into an ethic debate over, which you could literally hold with friends over coffee, is the right of ignorance, essentially. But in being one of your kind and enlightened, a prodigal as it were, and in being tied to me as you are, when you said that you were my mate last night, words hold power to us. And so therefore the dreaming recognizes you as mine. I am yours, you are mine. We are tied now to my people. And so therefore you are no longer subject to the same precautions that others would be held to.
That makes a lot of sense. Nosehorn tried to say something like that, and I didn't understand her.
I don't want to see us ruined because of politics, you know?
No, how could politics ruin us? What's wrong? I don't
He'll take a
understand.
sip of his wine. Do you know how many Garu Fey love affairs have ended in tears because of the politics between our people?
Oh,
Because neither side wanted to give an inch?
I can see that. Yeah.
That was one too many, I'm sorry. Okay. I'll take a deep breath and kind of swallow. Look, I'm sorry. I know you're not used to seeing me this,
Grim?
grim, serious, and this. I bet you just want your boyfriend back,
This is my boyfriend, too.
No, I can't be like this, yeah. I told you I haven't been doing much in our society recently. I've been really kind of sticking close to home. And there's a reason I've been doing that. I naturally fall into this kind of, I'm good at this. And I've actually considered asking Astra if she'd consider taking me as a squire. house I live in is the sister house to the house I belong to. There's a part of me that kind of sees it as giving up, kind of selling out,
No, I can't imagine going through this world without family, even if they're the ones that hurt you.
This is going to sound kind of strange and not in any way, shape, or form obsessive, but you're pretty much my family. So I don't really have that problem anymore.
She cocks her head sideways and kind of sits back, kind of fidgets in her chair.
He'll pick his hands up and kiss like that part.
It's important to have people around you who understand you all the way down. And I'll never be able to do that for you.
Why not?
Even if I'm your family, I
do it just fine.
When you spent too much time around Emmett and you were so lost, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what that felt like.
Through it just fine.
I'm just saying, there should be people who know in your life, even if you can't always trust them.
He gets up and he goes to the fridge, and he opens it up and he roots some leftovers out. He'll kind of pull up 2 bowls. It's curry, and he'll say, "I'm not trying to cut you off from your family. Okay?
No, of course.
My family isn't quite as tribal, it seems. I have Astria. I have I have Astria. That's all I really have. I mean, I have Xander. I have, at a game I cannot fucking remember Obi's character's name, and I hate myself for it. He says his name. He says, yeah, I have Kagoma. There we go. He says, I have Xander. I have Kagoma. I have friends. But Astria is really the only person I have that's. Do I die for him type thing, I mean, we don't work like that so much. And at the end of the day, she knows what's going on in my life. I certainly don't have any other Puka friends. Like my own kind. Oh, God, I fucking can't stand my own kind half the time.
Oh.
I can't. They're insane. They're demented. I'm demented. Look at how crazy I am. Now imagine having to deal with me. No. In short, fuck Jimmy. But still, no. It's not about him.
We're not fucking Jimmy though, right? That's not in the plans. Let's keep that not in the plans.
He literally almost looks like he's going to vomit in his mouth. Actually, not jokingly. He's like, no. Oh God. Did I tell you he looks like my ex-boyfriend?
Oh, honey.
He looks just like Milan. I mean, it's
Oh, I'm sorry.
Milan was way better built. I mean, and the body was just oh my God. No. But he looks really like Milan, and I he's got a new girlfriend, and I went to his Facebook. Yeah, it's still up, and we're not friends anymore. But he's dating, and he looks happy, and I'm not going to intro fucking singing an Adele song, and I don't even care about him anymore. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just. But no, I mean, it's like I said, we don't Ash is really close to me, and I really care about her, and she gets me, okay? But you don't like don't sell yourself short, is what I'm saying, and it's what it really kind of comes down to. You're
Huh?
kind of selling yourself. You're selling yourself a little short.
What do you mean?
I mean, you are. You're thinking that you can't be this thing for me, or that you can't be as close as my own Faye fucking family can, because you're not me, and you're not one of us. That's like saying that we can't be close because I'm sorry for this, but I'm Creole and you're Irish, I guess. I mean, you don't know what it's like to be Creole. You don't know what it's like to have grown up in the fucking bayou. Okay, mental hospital, but you know what I'm saying. You don't know what it's like to grow up in that culture. You're never gonna know. No matter how much I bring you over to New Orleans, no matter how much you walk the streets, you're not gonna know what it's like to be raised in that Catholic, crazy, bayou ass fucking backwards environment. And I'm never gonna know what it's like to grow up in San Francisco. I'm not gonna know what it's like to grow up in a place where free thoughts and ideas flow and people really kind of put each other before themselves, and there's a city of just commerce and technological forward thinking, but also trying to stay true to its roots. I'm not going to know that.
It's not quite the same thing, my love.
Okay, then let's take it another step. If we were,
It's all right. I get what you're saying. I understand.
we're there's just going to be areas in which it's not that we're like apples and oranges. Okay, we're both fruit. We may not be the same kind of fruit, but we're both fruit. And I mean, there's stuff that we totally agree on, like right out the gate. Okay? Children, probably not in our future. And it's not just because, I mean, I don't want kids, honestly. I don't see it being something I'm interested in. Honest. He'll kind of knock, the thing. He's like, later on down the road, when, things are more settled, you finish school, I've figured out where the fuck I'm going, with my career and Broadway and stuff like that. Sure, yeah, maybe, but at the end of the day, if we don't end up having kids and we get cats and snakes and fucking all different kind of shits, whatever, I don't care. It's not a priority for me. So we don't even have to fucking worry about where we're gonna send our kids to school, or how we're gonna raise them, or what faith we're gonna fucking raise them in, and all this crazy shit. So there, good, we're fucking good there. Financially, we're on the same page. We're both fairly fiscally conservative, while also understanding we need to entertain ourselves. Religious, same page. We're essentially agnostic, believing in the spirituality of our own people. I mean, we're a good couple. So I don't quite think in terms of you're my family. And yeah, I have others that I care about and I consider like family. But at the end of the day, we're not married. I don't have a ring on your finger, but I don't need it. You're my Ren, and I'm your Bentley. And I don't know. I'm gonna put the bowls in the microwave. And there's a close behind. Like, if you want to go sleep in your dorm because you need some space or something like that, fine, it's cool. If you're doing it because you think that you're doing something for me, you're not. Honestly, I'll honestly probably be more upset at you not being here than I would be at being around you like this.
Will you let me sleep on the couch?
Oh my god. Proximity is not the problem.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I am. I know what I'm dealing with. I need you to trust me this time, okay?
Okay.
I mean, besides, silver foxes are in. If I end up waking up with like a whole fucking, it's fine, whatever. He'll kind of pull the food out and stir it around a little bit. Though I do need a really long bath tonight and to really think about what the fuck is wrong with me. I'm standing in front of a law student. What's wrong with me? Oh my god. It comes full circle. You underestimated me and I underestimated you.
I mean...
Oh god. Priceless.
What's wrong?
Priceless. I just completely and utterly disregard the fact that you could help me with my goddamn campaign.
I don't know if you want me to do that.
Why not? You'll run it into the ground?
One of my family members is running against your candidate.
That would be priceless. He'll take the bowls and he'll put them on the table. Set the table, get her some wine or whatever the freak she wants to drink. He'll take the coat off and he'll take the tie off and get the vest off and hang it on his on the thing, and he'll take the he'll unbutton the shirt and kind of overhand toss it into the hamper, so he's down only to his tank top now, and he'll sit down. I'm sorry. He'll just kind of blush and look down like, I'm sorry. You're a little thirsty now. Here, get you a glass of water. He'll get up and get her a glass of water and put it on the table.
Thanks.
A little parched there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so I understand.
What were we talking about?
I'll kind of bring the glass back up to his lips and I'll say exactly what I did in the bathtub. No, your friend is running for mayor as well.
Yeah, when she said that he lies down with the beasts, I had a hard time not taking it a little personal, but it's true. So I mean, it's not true in that. Never mind, it's not true. It's just in a metaphorical sense. It's.
Are the muscles distracting you that badly? Should I put my shirt back on? Like.
She just laughs at him and heads for the fridge to see if there's any ice cream in there. She could use some fucking ice cream right now. And maybe a cold shower.
Or a hot bath with him. Yeah, he'll watch her like walking away the entire time with a smile on his face.
Anyway, I'm trying pretty hard not to be curious about what you want to know about the law. But you probably shouldn't tell me.
Do you want to know what? Honestly. And I'll kind of get up and I'll come over and I'll uncap her ice cream and feed her a bite.
She's having a really hard time. If he's going to ask her a law question right now, it's probably not going to be great.
He'll kind of take a deep breath, very pulling it from the depth of himself. And he'll say, honestly, right now, the only thing I really have going through my head is the sound of your voice in my ear. And I bet like this. Oh, Bentley. So let's eat and take that hot bath. And I'm going to ravage you on every horizontal surface in this house. Possibly wearing nothing but my tie. How about that?
Huh.
Sounds like a good topic for the rest of tonight's conversation, right? He'll kind of set her ice cream aside and slip his hands into hers and pull her close. I think it does.
If you wake up tomorrow, gray as a fucking snowbank, I'm not going to feel bad.
Oh, it'll be so worth it. And he basically brings his lips to her neck, and I am damn sure positive we can end the scene with that.
Yep, right about there.
So, thank you players for watching, and thank you watchers for playing, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.